Coming up on this edition of Goffstown This Week, Brad sits down with the folks behind The Villager in our Seniors Count segment. We wrap up the regular season and look forward to the playoffs in sports, and GHS honors 3 with their Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Get a first glimpse at our videos honoring them at the end of this episode. It's all coming up on Goffstown This Week.
Hello, and welcome to today's segment of Seniors Count on Goffstown This Week. Today we're at the Villager in Goffstown on North Mast Road, and with me is Maureen Russo, who's the owner, and Chris Kelleher, who's the administrator. They are also related. Maureen is the grandmother, Chris is the grandson. Would you tell me how the Villager revolved, Maureen?
Sure will. About 30 years ago, I was working at Hillsborough County Nursing Home. I was director of social services there. And they built a new nursing home across the street, but it was only 300 beds. But the old complex had 400 people in it. So I had to place 100 people within the space of a couple of months. And that's when I discovered there weren't too many places for seniors to go to. It was either a nursing home or there were a few assisted living facilities, but not many, and in small homes, 2 and 3. So I just decided that probably this is something I'd like to do. So I
Was this your house at the time?
This. No.
So you bought that?
Yes, I did.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, fantastic or a little insane or whatever it was, but I just decided to do it. And I'm glad I did, yeah.
Okay, and Chris, how long have you been an administrator here?
So I've been an administrator for 5 years now, but I basically grew up in this house. I went to the Villa Augustina down the road, and I went to Goffstown High, and I would always get dropped off after school right down the road by the mobile station, and I'd hang out here until my mom was done working. So I basically had 16 grandparents at any given time while I was growing up. So I sort of knew the business like the back of my hand by the time I came in.
Now you said 16 grandparents. Is that how many people that you can handle here?
Yes.
Okay, and what type of care is it? Is it assisted living or is it independent?
It's assisted living by definition, but it's really a case-by-case scenario with different people that we have here. We have some people that still have their license, and then we have some people that are into their late 90s who need a little bit more care one-on-one. So it really depends on the person. But we do assist with showers, we assist with meds, we assist with meals, any sort of laundry services, and things here and there.
Now your meals, I noticed on the whiteboard out there, it looks like they get 3 good meals a day, and I assume you take into account certain nutrition needs of the.
Oh, yes.
Okay. That can probably be challenging.
Yes, because you have some people who are diabetics and they need a special diet. Some people have heart problems and they need a special diet. And we do that. So most of the meals that we prep have got to be heart healthy, good meals that diabetics can eat as well, or anyone else. If somebody needs to have their food, they can't swallow well, then, we'll take care of that as well, too.
Now, I know you said medications and stuff. Now you have an on-call nurse or a doctor or anything like that?
We do have a nurse on call, yes. And so if we have any med questions or anything like that, we can call her and ask her. And then she comes in whenever we need her to help out with any residents.
And she's here at least 2 or 3 days a week, anyway.
Now, I noticed that you offer some activities for the people during the day. Could you tell me what some of those activities might be?
So we do at least 3 activities a day. We do an hour of exercise in the morning. Then we do more of a physical activity in the afternoon, whether that be they really enjoy Wii bowling, so we do that quite a bit. We do horseshoes. We do a cornhole or the beanbag toss.
I know that.
We do a lot of the. It's funny. We do a lot of outdoor lawn games, but we do them inside, and they really enjoy that. And then in the evening, we do more brain games. So we do different word games, or bingo, or hangman, something like that.
Okay. Now, as far as staff, I know you're here. Now, do you have other full-time or part-time people on staff? I mean, I don't need their names. Just like what they
We
do.
have approximately 10 people who work here, and some of them have worked here for 5, 6, 7 years. We look for people who are extra compassionate and caring and are good in an emergency. Those are the important things that we look for.
Those qualities.
And when I first talked to you, Chris, you were getting ready to go to Pickety Place, I believe.
Yes.
How did that go?
It went really well. They loved it. Yeah, we went as a little bit of a celebration for Mother's Day. So we planned it for Monday, but Monday the weather wasn't too good, so we ended up going Wednesday. And yeah, they loved it. You know, we have a new villager van, so we packed everyone in the van and went out and had lunch there.
And where some other places you might take the people?
They love Ollie's.
Ollie's?
Yes, we've gone to Ollie's several times. We also have a place at Cold Springs Campground in Ware, and they are open seasonally from, I believe it's the June 1st until September. And once a week, we take 3 or 4 residents there, and we have a little barbecue. And if they'd like, they can use the pools that they have there.
Oh, they have a pool.
Yes,
I've never been to Cold
They
Springs.
have 5 pools,
Oh, okay.
so they get to sunbathe.
That's good. Yeah. I noticed you got a little construction. Could you tell me what's going on outside here?
Yes. This house is not a babe. Obviously, it's an old lady and it's been around for a long time. And the porch was beginning to look pretty ragged. So we decided to redo the entire porch, which is going to take a bit of time. And while we're at it, we're re-siding the house as well. And we've decided to add 4 more bathrooms to the house.
4 bathrooms?
Yes, 4 more. And then we're having the driveway repaved.
Well, that sounds
So we
like a
decided
lot going
to
on
jump
here.
into it, yes.
It's going to be a busy summer.
But I noticed with all the work in it. This is a Victorian house, by the way. It's a very nice house. It's located at 50 North Mass Road. You know when this was built?
I know it's over 100 years
That's
old.
my question.
How much over 100? I don't know. Most ladies don't tell their age, so I can't tell you.
Good. Trying to think of anything else. Oh, you do have a website, I know.
Yes.
Could you tell me the web address?
Yes, it's villagernh.com.
Okay. That's villagernh.com. You can go there. It describes what is available. Now, of course, there's a cost involved, and you can find out on the website. Now, with that, are there any programs that could assist people with payment?
So we do have 4 beds available that are Medicaid. So if someone does end up running out of funds, we do have those beds available for those people.
And we're able to keep people.
Oh, that's very good.
That's particularly.
I know, because it does get tough.
Don't ask people to do that.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, if someone runs out of money and they've been here, we've had residents here for over 12 years, and if they run out of funds, we're just going to keep them.
That's very nice. That's it. The money is listed. Is on the website. Is there anything else you can tell me about?
One of the things, if anybody is ever interested, they can just call us, or they can actually just knock at the door and come in. They don't need to make an appointment. You need to see us exactly the way we are. So they can walk in, and we'll show them every room in the house. They can sit down and talk to the residents, and, so they can get a good idea if they think this would be a good place for their loved one or not. And if they think it possibly might be, then we'll have someone come in and spend an entire day with us. There's no cost for that.
Well, that's excellent. Are you usually at full capacity?
Yes.
Typically, we are. Yeah.
Typically, that phone number they were talking about, I'm going to give that to you. It's area code 603-497-4225. We'll have this posted when the video gets put up, too. Now, you said license. Some have license, so they're actually those that can drive, can have a car here?
Yes.
Okay. So those are the ones that can kind of go on their own a little bit.
Yeah, and we have different people that like to walk into the center of town. We have one resident, and she enjoys going to Sawyer's pretty much every morning, and she takes that walk, rain or shine. And so we have different residents that like to go out and do a little exploring.
I'm familiar with Sawyer's. I know the family. Actually, I know who it's named after, but that's a sidebar. And you said they can go down. You mentioned they go down to the library, right?
Yep. Once a month, we go down to the library. We have a villager account there, and so if any of our residents want to take out a book, they're more than welcome to. So we take the villager van, drive down, and hang out.
And we've taken them to Apotheca as well.
Yes.
Okay. I
And
know
we're
a lot
going
of
to be
people-
going to Ace Hardware soon, too. Because it's fun for them to be able to see what's in town.
Oh yeah, and because they talked about construction, I think that construction in town is eventually going all the way up North Mass.
Yeah, it'll be reaching us in the fall.
And that's a little bit of a challenge. But, like with any construction, it's the end result that's the important part.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'd like to thank you both for sitting down with me and telling me what the Villager is all about. I've learned a lot, and I definitely, as I said, we'll post this up. And if people can't see it on GTV, it airs on Friday night. We are posted on YouTube, too. Again, I want to thank Chris and Lorraine very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Here's 3 things from this week's meetings that you need to know. On Memorial Day, town offices were closed to honor the holiday. Because of the short holiday week, only 2 meetings were held this week. Selectmen held a short public hearing Tuesday night on the Tar Wildlife Sanctuary property. The landing is in Goffstown and Bedford and consists of more than 300 acres of forests, ponds, streams, and wetlands. The trust that managed the property is being dissolved, and the Piscataquag Land Conservancy will take ownership of the land. The public hearing dealt with the matter of the town accepting executor interest in conservation easement and transfer of ownership. If the PLC goes out of business, the town will own the property. During the Capital Improvement Program meeting on Thursday, members heard from the school superintendent about the school district's major needs. The committee is a subcommittee of the Planning Board, and one of its tasks is to review, prioritize, and recommend capital improvement projects requested by town and school district officials for the next 6 years. Projects the superintendent wants to undertake include fixing roofs and replacing cafeteria tables and windows at several schools, improving technology, replacing some security cameras, and improving the high school theater. Also replacing boilers, replacing some lockers, and widening a road at Mountain View. And that's 3 things from this week's meetings. To view the meetings in their entirety, check out Channel 22 on Comcast or on the Goffstown On Demand Vimeo page online.
So now we've got number 13, the first baseman, Purcell. That ball's hit to the outfield, and that could be gone. That's a home run for Megan Purcell. I thought that was a pop-up. That thing traveled and traveled and traveled, so that's a big home run for Megan Purcell, a 2-run home run. And Goffstown quickly jumps on a 4-0 lead, and that brought a big smile to Megan Purcell. So in steps the shortstop Watterson. She didn't bat the last game, but she is in the lineup. Great bunter, I think. And she hits one also to center field. This one could be gone as well. And it is gone, a home run for Watterson. And the Goffstown bench is cleared once again as Justine Watterson is congratulated by her teammates. Back-to-back home runs for Goffstown. Megan Purcell and Justine Watterson went yard.
It means a lot. I know when I was here, like I really wanted to leave some kind of an impact on the school, and for me, like the best means I had was athletically. But being inducted now, it's not to sound too full of myself, but it's nice to like see some hard work kind of get recognized. Goffstown had a lot to do with kind of how I grew up and how I matured through ages like 14 and 18. For sure. And a lot of the friends I made here I still talk to. Like I'm still very close with. And my freshman year might have been the last year they did it, and it snowed like 4 or 5 inches. Like it was the only time I've ever played in like a snowstorm. And being a freshman, I think I managed to crack the varsity lineup at defensive line. Being able to play in that kind of environment, we ultimately lost the game, which wasn't ideal, but the experience itself was just a lot of fun. Being able to play in the snow, being able to play against like a town rivalry and like a school rivalry was good. I would not have any of the opportunities that I had coming out of high school if it wasn't for my athletic career. I'll say minute, but there's like the structure and everything else that when you compete and you're doing athletics in high school, it gives you some sort of structure to your day at the end of the day. It's not the bell rings and you got 3 hours of free time after school. It's we're out of school now, it's time to go do work, practice, get better, train, and then it rolls over into even out of season. It's like, all right, well, it's the spring, I got nothing to do, I'm just gonna go hang out and bum around with friends. Well, no, I'm gonna try and get myself better so that I can do better next year. I'm out of college for like a couple of years, and then all of a sudden you guys are winning state titles, so that's really nice to see. To either look in a Facebook feed or look somewhere in the news and just hear like, your high school alma mater just won the state championship. Where when you were there, like beating a Pinkerton or beating like a national school was like, no, it was not going to happen. It was just absolutely off the table. So that's really cool, and there's a lot of pride that comes with that. With like the broadcast that you guys do, it's nice.
That was almost reminiscent of a Tommy Foote takedown. One of Goffstown's probably best wrestlers in their program.
It's nice to be able to look back and see, where you came from, still doing well at it. Because I still feel like I got a lot more outside of athletics professionally that I could do before I necessarily get recognized. But I mean, it's definitely an honor, and it does mean a lot.
I'm obviously very honored. I'm humbled, appreciative. I think one of the just biggest lessons that being a student athlete in general provides you is just adaptability to whatever life throws at you. Teamwork, how to be coachable is a big one. Just how to interact with people. My sophomore year of high school, we won the state championship. That whole season, it stuck out for many reasons. But the one that really, I think it's actually pretty funny, is after we won, the next day, we got to school early. We all lined up outside of school with our sticks, with our championship t-shirts, and went into the school obnoxiously just parading around the halls of the building. And everyone was clapping for us and thought you were on cloud nine. You know, at that time felt like you were truly on top of the world, and you know, just running around the school with my teammates after we won, I think it's a pretty cool memory. My parents, for many, many reasons, that they set the example of, you know, what it means to be a student athlete, putting student first, teaching you work ethic, always being there regardless of what time the game was, where the game was. They were there, always on the sideline. My coach for field hockey, Kim McCann, was very influential in helping me navigate the waters of field hockey in general, whether it was indoor programs, futures program, college recruiting. She was a big supporter and still is today, obviously. And then a teammate of mine, two teammates in particular, Tara Welch and Carrie Sullivan. Tara was a year ahead of me. She went on to have a phenomenal field hockey career at Holy Cross, and Carrie Sullivan played with me at Stonehill. The three of us, I would say, bounced ideas off of each other, and you know, we were always competitive with one another, so we always were able to keep each other on track for our work ethic. So, coming back, it just goes to show what a great community Goffstown is, and you know, obviously going to college and in the working field, you meet people from all walks of life. But I think what Goffstown has as a community is unique. I think the pride, you know, that the high school has in its student athletes, and you know, taking the time to really invest in them and their future, I think says a lot.
Well, it's really humbling. You know, I just think back. I stayed local. You know, I went to Plymouth. I came back. I subbed here because I wasn't really ready to teach. I needed to get my feet wet a little bit. And you know, I got hired. There was no elementary PE before I came. A lot of people think I invented PE because I was the first one. I often joke that I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my mom, because she worked as a secretary for my first principal, Bill Brendel, and she kind of ran the show over there at the upper elementary, so I don't think Bill dared say no when I showed up for the interview. Didn't have a PE class till I was in 7th or 8th grade, so by the time I got to high school and found out they had girls' sports, field hockey right off freshman year. I'd never heard of it, never played it, and neither did most of the other girls, but all signed up, and I think Leon Knesny got some old field hockey sticks, hand-me-downs, and played right at Barnard Playground and absolutely loved it. Moved on to basketball, and back then it was 6v6, roving guards and roving forwards, so it was a little old-fashioned back then. When I was a junior, Louis LaForce was our coach, and we got to play 5-on-5. We were now, I guess, had passed the test, and we were okay, and we were afraid it was just going to be mass confusion, like we're not going to know where to go, and because we were so used to, you can't cross the line if you're defense, and you can't cross the line this way if you're offense only. But that was a lot of fun, transitioning to real basketball. You know, I spent my younger years watching my brothers play Little League and wishing that I could do the same. So just being able to be part of a team and to just have that joy of being in competition, I just feel so blessed. I didn't have to go far to get everything I've really ever wanted in my life. So I took the job, and I did not say no to anything. I coached junior high boys soccer with a no-cut policy, and I had 40 kids. I met my now husband, Ken Perkins, who worked for Parks and Rec at the time and had coached them the year before, and he saw me struggling on the field and helped me out, and that's how I met my husband. So it's just everything that I've wanted out of life I've been able to find right in this town. Had my kids, they became Grizzlies, great experiences that way. So I've seen it as student, teacher and parent. And it means a lot to me because I don't think there's many people that have had that experience. And to be recognized, I guess, for sticking around totally is awesome.